All it took was this pointy stick to turn the American elites into drug fiends. Show it to them and it will trigger their PTSD faster than a triggered feminist. Today we're talking about all the fun ways you can die in the Vietnam War. If you've seen this game, then you already know what's up. The Punji Sticks, aka the Pointy Sticks. These pointy sticks were the stuff of nightmares for the soldiers. Why? Because they're versatile and everywhere. Literally everywhere. Vietnam is a jungle. Take a branch, sharpen it, it's a weapon. Women and children could make these sticks so efficiently, it would put Nike sweatshops to shame. They can maim and unalive you in 1,000 creative ways. The basics of it is dig a hole, plant some spikes, cover with leaves, then play the waiting game. A soldier would walk by, fall in, and he's dead. If he's still alive, he's the American taxpayers' problems now. Double whammy, hit him on the front lines and back home. Sometimes the Vietnamese would place the sticks on an angle, pointing downwards. It wouldn't cause any damage falling in, but climbing out, it would tear them apart. I don't even know if you would want to get out at that point. These are some Looney Tune type traps to ruin someone's day right here. You know when Sideshow Bob gets hit with a rake? They had that shit too. One side, the trigger side, would have no spikes, for efficiency's sake. Can't go wasting those spikes like those Americans now, can we? The other side would be filled with them, and once someone steps on the trigger, BAM! Wake to the face. They had falling spikes, they had door trigger spikes, they even had walls of spikes where when the support beam was broken, it would crush them into an American sandwich. They had spikes on spikes where when triggered, the spikes would whip spikes into your spiking spike. And of course they had the good old flying spikes. Trust me on this though, the Vietnamese love to gamble. Go to any casino and you'll see an Asian yelling and hollering. They put their gambling addiction into their traps as well. You see, some of these sticks were dipped in literal shit or snake venom, but not all of them, so if you were lucky enough, you would miss those. And in my headcanon, the Vietnamese would place bets on it. Do. Ah! Oh no, Bob. Looks like you fell into a pit. Ah, it's okay, Joe. Looks like it's not one of those poop ones, so I'll die now instead of dying a slow, painful, disease-ridden death tomorrow, because we don't carry antibiotics. Good luck out there. Ha ha ha. Okay, nice knowing you, man. Bam! Mace trapped. The Mace Trap. The Mace Trap is collective punishment. If one person goofs it, the whole squad is punished. The trap comes in many forms: a concrete ball with spikes, a mud ball hardened by the sun with spikes, a plain old wooden log with spikes, and finally, a special box filled with the hopes and dreams of ever going back home safely with spikes. They are tied to a tree with rope, and when the GI trips the trap wire, it's at that moment that he knew he fucked up. Because in an instant, he's skewered by a swinging ball Tarzan style. His squad gets mangled and knocked down faster than a 12-year-old knocking down pins in Wii bowling. Animal fun traps. They had viper pits. Ah! They had snakes tied to trees. Ah! They had snakes in their tunnel systems. Ah! They probably had snakes on planes. Ah! Another fun one was the hornet traps. You trip the wire, release the hornets, chaos ensues. You either stay and let them pelt you, or you run around and... dead. So if you actually manage to kill one of these Vietcong guys, you can't even loot them because most of the times, surprise motherfucker! Snakes in bags. And if the bags happen to be snake free, well, let's just see what's inside. There's sticks, there's rope, and there's bamboo. What the hell is an American gonna do with that? They don't have any survival skills. These are useless. Hey guys, we managed to avoid all the traps. Where we want to go is just over there. Good job, guys. Ah! Shoulda saw that coming. Sorry, Bill. Let's go, boys. At least it's just water, guys. Wait a minute. So you can't loot them for their common items, but they sure can loot you for your epics. Your weapons against you. Traps. This is a bullet, and the Vietnamese had a guaranteed way that it would always hit its target. Forget about the guns. All they needed was a nail and a piece of bamboo. A small hole would be dug, and a nail would be placed inside the bamboo and the bullet on top. When someone steps on it, the pressure would push the bullet down into the nail, causing it to fire, ripping them apart. One shot, one kill. Have you ever walked down the street and kicked a rock? Chances are you have, and the Vietnamese, they were the masters of psychology. They put an unpinned grenade into a can, and when someone kicked it, BAM! Instant explosion, no delay because no pin. Now, ever notice how in America there are always flags out in people's yards? Well, the Vietnamese sure did. So when the Viets abandoned their base, they would booby trap the flagpoles with grenades, and when the Americans came to raise their flags, BAM! It would trigger the trap.
You triggered my trap card!
So the Vietnamese essentially won a war of guns with sticks and stones, and fear. Did a lot of people die in Nam? Yep. But what's worse is them coming home with PTSD from fucking trees, being shamed by the cancel culture for what they were ordered to do, and dying from fucking cocaine in a can. which to be honest probably killed more people than those spikes. But fear was real, because in Vietnam, every move you make, every step you take, can take your breath away.